As if it wasn't hard enough for artists to make it in the music business. Now they need to compete with fictitious artists whose members are NFTs and only perform live in the metaverse. What am I talking about here? I am talking about the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs.
Live the life you love.
This is a wild and crazy story. So let's share this next article, right? So Universal forms a metaverse band based on Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs. So yes, Universal, the label, right? Universal Music Group has formed a band that only performs in, or only will perform in, the metaverse. So Kingship is that's the name of the band. The Gorillas-inspired virtual group will release music, perform in the metaverse, and drop its own NFT collectibles. First question I already have is, who is actually writing the music, right? So I know there is already capabilities of AI, so artificial intelligence, to write music. It's crazy. There's this app, I forget the name of it, but there's an app where you could basically just type in a few keywords on a topic and it'll write a blog post for you, right? So it'll sound like it was made by a computer, but it's written pretty well. With just a few edits, you can humanize those articles a whole lot more. But now AI can write music, right? So who's actually writing the music? And then if it can get into a really weird rabbit hole, right? So if AI, artificial intelligence, is writing the music, then who owns it, right? So who owns it when that music makes money? Is it all the record label? Is the creator of the AI make any money? That can this future world, it's pretty interesting and exciting, right? So let's go into this article. So in brief, Universal Music Group has formed Kingship, a virtual band based on Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT avatars owned by collector Jimmy McNellis. And so Jimmy McNellis is I guess a really famous NFT collector, and one of the collections that he's really big in collecting is this Bored Ape collection, right? I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But Kingship will release music and perform in the metaverse with plans to release its own NFT collectibles, right? So that's the little brief for the article. And let's dive into this article a little bit. Reimagine the virtual band playbook of Gorillas with a crypto twist. Major music label Universal Music Group announced today that it has formed a metaverse group featuring a quartet of characters depicted in the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT collection. This is wild. So the Bored Ape Yacht Club, it started this year, so in 2021, right? So adding some context, and the NFTs that for Bored Ape Yacht Club will give you access to members only benefits, right? So you become a member of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and I'm sure one of those benefits in the future will be to see their live performances, right? So in April of 2017 of this year, they created a Discord channel, and after that Discord was created, they sent out their first tweet the next day on the 18th. And then they dropped a collection of 10,000 Bored Apes, right? They sold out in 10 hours and originally went for sale for 0.08 ETH, right? So again, this was in April. So let's take a look at the chart real quick. So one ETH in April. Let's go, here is my little chart. Let's go to April, like 18-ish, right? So an ETH, let's go right here. ETH was worth around 2,500, is literally 4,100 right now as it is recording. So 0.8 of that, right? So let me do the math real quick on my fancy phone calculator. So 2,500 was one ETH times 0.08. So one of these Bored Ape NFT collections was worth $200, right? So that's what they sold for originally. So now if you go to OpenSea is the marketplace where Bored Ape Yacht Club is sold, which is where you can buy the NFTs. So there's still the original collection, right? 10,000 items. There's 5,900 owners. The floor price is 43.7 ETH. So again, ETH being now worth, what did I say it was worth? Now it's worth $4,100, right? So these NFTs were worth a ton, and volume traded 240.2 ETH. And here's just a little bit of that collection, right, and what they're selling for. So they're asking, the top one is 35 ETH. So 35 times $4,000, right? They're not all that expensive. You have a bunch here for 2.9 ETH, but again, it's $4,000 each, right? So if you have 3 ETH, that's $12,000 for one of these Bored Apes. It's wild. So let's continue on with so 4 of these, right, from this guy's collection, McNils, are now the band, the official Kingship band that now artists have to compete with as well, right? So it's not just all the massive amounts of artists and musicians that are out there that you have to compete with, but now you have to compete with digital fake artists, not fake artists, but I'm sure there are real songwriters behind them, but these digital artists that only perform in the metaverse, which is wild where we're going. So the band Kingship is composed of characters pulled from the NFTs owned by noted collector Jimmy McNils, or Nellis, how you pronounce it, who recently sold another one of his Bored Ape NFTs for $3.5 million at a Sotheby's auction. Universal's next-gen label, 1022 PM, will spearhead the effort. So it sounds like that's the label that's going to be behind these NFT bands, these virtual metaverse bands, right? So the label will develop music for the band. Sounds like the label will develop music for the band. So it sounds like there's probably writers that are signed by the label or work for the labels, right? All these major labels, Universal, Warner, and Sony, they have also a publishing arm. So I'd assume the publishing side of Universal Music is probably going to be in charge of writing the music for Kingship, this metaverse ape band. So the label will develop music for the band to perform in animated and virtual world settings as the online metaverse grows and evolves. Universal also plans to release NFTs based around the band, which can be used for exclusive access into events and will let existing Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT holders have first crack at purchasing them. So you still have to purchase those NFT drops, but if you are a Bored Ape Yacht Club owner, you're getting first dibs, right? So band manager, so they have their own manager, band manager Nicholas Adler, who is also the manager and brand curator for rapper and NFT collector Snoop Dogg, told Decrypt that a Universal representative initially approached him about creating a project more generally around the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Adler had already been connected with McNellis, an early collector of hundreds of NFTs from the project, and proposed working with some of McNellis' owned apes with rare attributes such as golden fur or laser eyes. Now that the deal is inked, they're working on figuring out storytelling elements around the characters, not to mention plans for the music, which is wild. Let me just take a quick skim through the article to see if there's anything else of worth and mentioning. Let's just see. So the goal was to creatively come up with a bright package of apes, said Adler. We're developing the personalities and NFT drops around them. We're developing sounds. We're developing stories and narratives. I think that the project, the process, and the music will be something that consumers and fans will see online as we develop it. I'll be curious to know, too, if these writers that are going to write these songs, right, are they going to be ghost writers? Or is it going to be known, right? Will it be publicly known who the writers are behind the music for Kingship? Adler suggested that McNellis has already generated value and interest around his own NFTs, pointing to the aforementioned record Sotheby's sale. However, they will also work with other creators to bring the Kingship project to life. With a great team of collaborators and with the biggest record label in the world behind you, I think you can create an amazing crew and amazing story, said Adler. We want it to be authentic, and we're going to be able to test the community before we drop stuff. The Bored Ape Yacht Club, created by Yuga Labs, is one of the most popular collections in the NFT market, between the core collection of 10,000 Yacht Club NFTs and the subsequent NFTs in the Bored Ape Kennel Club and Mutant Ape Yacht collections. The Ethereum-based project has generated over 1 billion in secondary market sales per Crypto Slam. Just see if there's anything else. So yeah, that's the story, right? So the Bored Ape Yacht Club. So now we're competing with virtual NFT bands, where NFTs are the band members performing in the metaverse. Very, very interesting to see where this goes and when the next project will come out, right? So I'm sure there's going to be many, many other projects. This will be the first of many. And the interesting thing you could do with this too, I would assume this NFT band can go tour the different metaverses, right? Because there's so many different metaverses. Let me just go really quick back to the article. So, you have Decentraland, you have the Sandbox. I know Facebook's making their own metaverse and so on, right? Let me see. It doesn't really say what metaverse they're going to be in yet, right? So Facebook is one of the companies plotting a major move in the space, recently rebranding its parent company as Meta to reflect its increasing metaverse focus. Ethereum-based metaverses games such as Decentraland and the upcoming the Sandbox have seen surging token valuations in the wake of Facebook's move, right? Both settings could serve as potential digital as both settings could serve as potential digital locales for virtual concerts, as Snoop Dogg plans to do in the Sandbox. So yeah, so different metaverses, right? So you could tour different metaverses. So the users of the Sandbox could have their own concert of the Kingship, right, of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and there could be a concert in the Decentraland, in Meta, right, the Facebook's metaverse version. Very, very, very interesting. Spread love, positivity, and kindness in the world, and live the life you love. Peace, everyone.
Live the life you love.